Hi friends, welcome to our channel Edutainment. Today we shall speak on charity. What is charity? Instead of defining charity, I would like to take certain illustrations from epics and religious scriptures and to see what they say about and on charity. How great people used to practice charity. And from Mahabharata, we know the great warrior Karna, who is famous for practicing charity. He is called Dana Karna, Dana Veera Shura Karna, but he is famous as Dana Karna. Dana Karna. And to see how he practiced charity and in epics, what charity means to say. From Mahabharata, the king Rantidevudu and his episode and his poem, great poem, Annamulu Ledu Konni Madhurambamulunnai. That is true charity. And religion, Christianity. What does Christianity say about charity?
The book of Deuteronomy is the center of the Bible's social imagination. Of all the books in the Bible, Deuteronomy is the one that places the greatest emphasis on social justice, justice for those who are excluded, for those who are marginal. It's full of exhortations to take care of the poor. It's full of exhortations to care for the stranger. And it's not just full of exhortations, but it establishes structures to protect the interests of the poor and the strangers. It includes gleaning laws, as the book of Leviticus does in the book of Exodus. Gleaning that allow the landless poor in the land to enjoy the bounty of the land. They can follow the harvesters of the land and pick up what's dropped. Scrumping is also permitted in Deuteronomy. That means that if you're walking down a road and you see a vineyard and you're hungry, then you have the right to take some grapes from the vineyard and eat them, even though that land doesn't belong to you, even though the vineyard is not yours. The vineyard bears fruit for everyone. Deuteronomy has extended laws about the limits of slavery and the rules concerning bondservanthood. The Sabbath laws are very extensive in the book of Deuteronomy, giving rules about how the Sabbath is to be extended to slaves and to others.
Clear what charity means, how charity has to be practiced. And next, we will go to Islam, what Islam says about charity. And charity or zakat or sadaqah, which is the third of the obligatory 5 pillars of Islam. Charity is mentioned dozens of times in the Quran. Surah Al-Baqarah. We will see what is said in Quran pertaining to charity. وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ وَارْكَعُوا مَعَ الرَّاكِعِينَ. Fast in prayer, practice regular charity. Surah Baqarah 83 ayat. وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ لَا تَعْبُدُونَ إِلَّا اللَّهَ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إيتانا وذي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وقولوا للناس حسنا وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة ثم توليتم إلا قليلا منكم وأنتم معرضون. Worship none but Allah. Treat with kindness your parents and kindred and orphans and those in need. Speak fair to the people. Be steadfast in prayer and practice regular charity. They are all these illustrations or references we find in different religious texts and epics are of course followed by people still in the contemporary society. There are people who practice charity. There are charitable institutions which take the responsibility to help the poor, to nurture, nourish the poor, to help the poor. And it is our duty to be helpful to the needy, and we should teach.
There was a charitable man in a village. Many poor people got help from him. Always he used to sit on the veranda of his house and he used to give charity to poor people. There came a golden-colored squirrel to the place for some days where he used to give charity.
Is this charity? Are you a charitable man?
When the man looked at the squirrel, it ran away. The man kept on thinking about what the squirrel had told him. Next day, as usual, the man continued with his charity when the squirrel entered.
Is this charity? Are you a charitable man?
As soon as the man saw the squirrel, it was just about to sprint.
Hey squirrel, please don't run away.
The squirrel stopped.
I'm doing good to the people. Why are you teasing me? If I'm not doing charity, then what is charity?
What you give is not charity at all. There used to be a great charitable person, you know.
Is it? Who is he? Please tell me about him.
There used to be a poor family in a nearby town. A man, his wife and son. They had been starving for some days. They got some wheat flour, they made some chapatis and sat together to eat. At that time, they heard a knock on the door.
There was a guest at the front door.
Sir, I am very hungry. I am very tired after a long journey. Please give me something to eat.
Come in, please. The guest started eating the chapatis hurriedly.
This is not enough, as I have been starving for some days. I am really very hungry. Can you give me some more, please?
The poor man's wife gave her share of chapati also to the guest.
Oh, this is not enough for me. Please give me some more.
The poor man's son gives his share of chapati also to the guest. The guest eats that chapati too.
Enough. This is enough. Now my stomach is full. Please give me some water to drink and then I shall leave.
The guest then left. That night, the poor man's family died due to starvation. There was a bit of wheat flour in that house which turned half my body into golden color. Now tell me, what you do? Is it really charity? Are you a charitable man?
The charitable man bows down in shame.
No, I'm not a man of charity. I always keep something for myself first, and only the remaining I give as charity. But the head of that poor family is a great charitable man. That is only charity, and he is a charitable man, not me.
I have been searching for that kind of a charitable man throughout the country, like the head of that poor family, but I have not been able to find one anywhere. The other half of my body hasn't turned into gold color as yet. That's why I say that you are not a charitable man, said the squirrel. Dear children, charity is almost extinct in today's world.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we're going to talk about the book Interactions of the Greatest Leader. Anas ibn Malik, may Allah be pleased with him, said, out of all the Ansar in Medina, Abu Talha had the most date palm trees, and the most beloved of his land was Bayraha, a piece of land that faces the mosque. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to enter it and drink from some water therein. When the verse which means, never will you attain good reward until you spend in the way of Allah from that which you love, was revealed, Abu Talha stood and said to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, O Messenger of Allah, the Almighty says, never will you attain good reward until you spend in the way of Allah from that which you love. And the most beloved part of my wealth is Bayraha. Therefore, it is a charity for the sake of Allah, and I hope that Allah accepts it and stores it for me in my record for good deeds. So use it in any way Allah shows you. So the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this is such a good action. This is profitable wealth. I have heard what you have said, but I see that you should give it to your relative. Abu Talha, may Allah be pleased with him, said, I shall do so, O Messenger of Allah. So Abu Talha divided it between his relatives and cousins, and among them were Hassan and Ubay ibn Ka'b. That is how the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to advise them about which places are more suitable for charity. Reported by Al-Bukhari and Muslim.